The things that we have to do is get the medical attention, especially if they requested. We call for medical attention to get what we call a wash down, because anyone who's ever been pepper sprayed, and all of us as police officers have to be pepper sprayed to get on this job. It's painful, you feel like you can't breathe. It's designed to do that. It makes you feel like you can't breathe, and particularly someone like myself who's an asthmatic, you feel like you're hyperventilating and like you're gonna pass out. So we have to, by our policies, get the medical attention. Now, with regard to sensitivity, what we have started doing is training along the lines of how you deal with larger crowds. So sometimes there's a situation where you have to make an arrest with a large crowd. You have to make sure that you ensure the officer's safety, the safety of other members in the crowd, and if you have to deploy a device like pepper spray or a taser or something like that, there are policies and procedures in place as to how to do it safely and how to get the person the medical care they need immediately. In most situations which are volatile, of course it may take a little while longer, but everyone's instructed, get medical attention there as quickly as possible. That's part of our normal policies.
And so in hearing that, my question then becomes, what is the consequences for officers who do not provide that medical care?
So in any instance where an officer violates a policy like that, or any of our policies, that would be a violation of our general orders, depending on the severity of it. So God forbid you have a situation where an officer did not provide medical care and the person died, the consequences are going to be far more severe, both for the officer, the department, the city, than if someone simply says, well, I was in pain, the handcuffs were too tight, they pepper sprayed me and didn't get me medical attention right away, they tased me and did get the prongs out, and we have to call for medical attention for that also. So it depends on the severity and the consequences of what happened. But any violation of our general orders typically will lead to some form of discipline.
Now, my question is, do we, because like you were saying that there's some type of punishment or whatever if they violate an order. Now, how long do they have, well, I have a couple of questions, but how long do they have to get that person medical attention? I mean, do we wait till, yes, if it's more severe, they'll get harsher punishment, but it could have been more severe.
So your question basically is, how long do you have?
Yeah, because I mean, like Jermise, he was waiting for a while. And me, that's my cousin. And I was sitting there, I had water. I asked, can I give him water? He said he couldn't breathe. They told me no, that I couldn't even get near him. I couldn't give him any water. What is the protocol? If someone's asking for water after they've been pepper sprayed, can a civilian or anyone else give that person water?
Okay. Now, the situation, I can't address that specific situation, but let's say hypothetical situation. There is a large fight. Someone in the fight is determined to be the person that the officers are going to make the arrest. They make the arrest. In the process of effecting the arrest, they pepper spray the person. The person is now screaming, I can't see, which we expect. If they're burning, they're on fire. The officers are instructed to call for medical. But before an officer will call for medical, they have to make sure that the situation is safe. So let's say you're making an arrest and you've got a crowd or people who are hostile. The officers have to make sure that it's safe both for themselves, for the person that now, because once you make an arrest, that person, you own them. They're in your custody. Anything bad that happens to them is your responsibility. So even if someone may be saying, can I give them some water? If that's not a medical professional, you wouldn't let that happen, because you may have the best of intentions in giving them water, but God forbid, say you give them water or it wasn't water or it was something else and that leads to complications. Well, now that officer, the city of New Haven, are now liable for those actions. So medical attention needs to be offered as quickly as possible by medical professionals, such as paramedics, fire department will come and see, and if necessary, transport them to the hospital to get the medical care that they need.
Okay, and then my last question. I know you guys go through training.
Yes, sir.
How far of a distance should you pepper spray someone? Because I know you can't talk about that certain situation, but
yes.
I mean, you can see in a video, Jermise the officer had the pepper spray this close. Like if he had, it was literally this close to his eye. So it was meant to hurt him. It wasn't meant to just calm him down, which he wasn't even hyper, but whatever. You can say that. It wasn't even to calm him down. It was to hurt him. So what is the distance that a police officer should pepper spray someone?
So pepper spray, when we go through training, you have a distance of what we call point blank. So let's say you're in a struggle with someone I'm battling with. I've told them, get back, they're under arrest, they don't want to comply with my orders. I got my pepper spray out, or maybe I'm fighting with them and my partner may have his pepper spray out. Perfect example I'll give you, gentleman, intoxicated, downtown, we get him in the car, we don't cuff him, we have him in the back seat trying to calm him down. He tells us he's going to kill us. He starts banging on the window. He busts the window out. He's climbing through the window. We're trying to keep him in the car because we're afraid that if he gets out, it's going to escalate. My partner gets his pepper spray out, shakes it, and in the process, he sprays him at what we would call point blank because he's right there. I'm holding him, but he's right there. When he sprays the individual, he's so close, it gets the individual, but it bounces and also hits me. So now I'm holding on to the guy with one eye, basically. So distance-wise, it is based on the situation. If someone is aggressive, you tell them they're under arrest, pepper spray can be used up to, realistically, probably about 15, 20 feet, depending on the type of canister that the officer is given. Now, if you have a crowd control situation, we have pepper sprays that can spray up to 100 feet. So it depends on where the person is.
But should it ever be pepper sprayed directly into the eye? Literally a half an inch into the eye.
Well, the goal is to get it in the eye. And if you are in a situation where, say, you're struggling with a person, as that situation I gave you, yeah, you want to get it right in the person's eye. Because the goal is create compliance. Make the person go from resisting to complete compliance. The pepper spray, and it's designed by the company, knowing that sometimes it may be deployed at a point blank distance. So even though it's going to hurt, it hurts because it's oleoresin capsicum. It's designed to burn and to create compliance and take your breath away and to make you passive rather than resistant.
And one more question, sorry. What do you guys consider compliance now? Me putting my hands behind my back and or my hands up saying I'm not resisting, is that considered compliant or is that not considered compliant depending on what you look like, what your color is, what size you are? You know, what is compliant with the officer? Should you just, like a slave, just yes sir, yes master? Like what do you guys consider compliant?
Compliance is based on the situation. So for example, someone has a weapon in their hand and we tell them, drop the weapon. They drop the weapon, they're complying with our commands. A person is got a pipe or is combative, we tell them turn around, put their hands behind their back, they turn around and put their hands behind their back, and now we go to cuff them and they stiffen up. That's what we call active resistance. They're stiffening up, not allowing us to handcuff them.
Which is probably normal, a little bit.
It depends on the individual and it depends on the situation. Compliance, when each arrest, each situation is unique. And that's why I think that when you're writing general orders and when you're looking at situations, it's very hard. You have to see the entire picture, which is why I believe that in the future it'll be a lot easier for both you and for me, because when you have a body camera, it now shows the picture. It's no longer what he said, she said. It is, here's the picture. But compliance is based on the situation. It's simply a matter of what's going on. Person's in the car, you tell them get out the car, you tell them open the door with this particular hand, you tell them turn around and face the car. If they put their hands up or if they ball up a fist, they're not being compliant. So it depends on the situation.